So we're catching up with Hakan Hayrettin, halfway point of the season. Let's talk more broadly about 2022 for starters. I mean, overall, it's been, when you look back at the last 12 months, that promotion at the start of May must really rank up there as, a great moment of this last 12 months.
For sure, amazing achievement by everybody concerned. I'm talking about the supporters here as well, the people behind the scenes that have worked really hard, the staff have been amazing, and the players. We've all rallied together and we've achieved something which was a day to remember for all, and it was an amazing feeling and fully deserved by us.
And then to look at this season we've had so far, we would say we're at that halfway point now. How do you assess the?
Yeah, I mean, I've always said that to compete at this level, it's a fantastic achievement. But I've also said staying up, which we will, is going to be a fantastic achievement, and I think we will do that. It's been really frustrating for me and the staff this year because from day one we've had so many injuries, and even now we still have. And it's like a recurring bad dream for me sometimes that, constantly in any given week we've got 4 or 5, maybe 6 or 7 that are out injured. And, if we take the last week that just gone, we've had Ryan Stanford now with a dislocated shoulder. And a couple of weeks before that we had our captain Gavin Hoyt with a dislocation. And it's just been really frustrating because we haven't been able to put a consistent team out back to back to try and get results. But saying that, in the last 6 weeks, I think the boys that are coming back to full fitness and have shown a good an understanding of what's required. We're picking up points and we need to continue on that journey. I mean, having Jerome Bingham-Williams out for a long time was a massive area for us to fill, but also massive that we've missed him. So it's good to have him back, and we're slowly but surely getting into the swing of things. If you look back in the last month or so, if you take the Easter game out of the equation, we're 2-1 up there, and we go down to 10 men, the game changes. We played Woking the other day. We had 2 stonewall penalties that weren't given. Game changes, and we had an injury to a goalkeeper. So, no, listen, obviously people's expectation levels are quite different. Everyone expects different things. For me, I understand that sometimes when we don't win a game of football, people are going to get frustrated and upset. I totally understand that. But given the circumstances, which is most important, given the circumstances, I think we're doing okay. We can do better, and we will.
Obviously, we've gone through, as you say, quite an extensive injury list so in this first half of the season. Obviously, that's meant you've had to bring in some loan signings to cover some of those key positions.
Yeah, and I've done that with one eye on the budget. We're not a club that's flush. We haven't got loads and loads of money to go and do what we need to do. So I have to be very careful with that, and we can't compete with certain teams, and that's a given. So everybody must be aware of that we can't compete with even the likes of Oldham. And since David Unsworth's been there, he's brought in 16 players. We can't do that. We haven't got the financial capability of doing that. But we've got, and we know what we've got, and we have to adhere to that. And we're trying to make sure that in alignment with that, we try and bring in players that can help us what we're doing. The majority of the players that we've brought in on loan have only been because of injuries anyway. But we've brought in a couple to help and strengthen, and hopefully they will. But we've had some very, very bad luck this season with injuries, and that's a concern for me. But again, we can only do what we can do. We can't go overboard and bring players in at willy-nilly because we're not a club that can sustain that.
And with, of course, the January transfer window coming up, that opens up some longer term loans, perhaps to the end of the season.
Sure.
Is that something that you might look at?
Yeah, we will do. And both owners have been very helpful, and they've been quick to add to me that if we need anything, we can do it. We can, and they've been good with that. But at the same time, as a manager, you have to have your wits about you, knowing who's available and who's going to fit the bill and who's right for the club. Is his personality and character right? All these play a part when you make a decision to bring a player in. But the biggest one is obviously finance. So that also is a fundamental player in the decisions that we make.
It must, as you say, it's reassuring for you to see some of those names coming back. I mean, the supporters haven't seen Solway and Joe Smith, for example, play a competitive game for you yet. So to have these people now starting to wait in the wings and be available for selection.
Yeah, he's still got a little bit of way to go, but he's obviously now started training, which is good. Obviously, we still miss Luque, and we've got Ryan Stanford out, and we've got Gavin Hoyt out, and we've had Reef Brown out, and they're all players that would all be in contention to start. And because of that, sometimes you have to, like, your thinking changes and your philosophy changes of how you're going to do things, how you're going to set up and try and get the best out of players. But no, yeah, it's good. It's that time of the season now where we say it's the business end. Christmas is always going to be a period where we're going to be looking up to pick up a few points, and that nothing's going to change for us. But getting people back is good. We've got Hedy Gandor coming back to full fitness, which is good as well.
And obviously, you say that Christmas period is quite an important one for the club. What's the message to the players in the next few weeks? Where are you?
The players know that we need to dig deep now. We have to have a siege mentality. We have to go to every game thinking that we're going to win it, and we have to make sure that when we do cross that white line, that we try and pick up as many points as we can. And it's not for the will of trying. They're giving us everything they've got. And I hope the supporters can see that we're heading in the right direction in terms of status, in terms of points, and in terms of making sure we put smiles on people's faces. And our support this season, home and away, has been unbelievable, and long may it continue.